Hello and welcome to a video of mine. My name is Daniel Hall. I'm from the United Kingdom in Great Britain. This video today is just to talk about politics and obviously just to talk about the questions that I've been asked in the past. So the first question is, if I was to become Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, what would my two first, what would my, obviously, what would the two main things be that I'll be focused on in the first couple of months in power, assuming that I was given the power to take over or whatever. So the first, and this is a question. So the first question would be, I would be focused on the homelessness situation facing the United Kingdom. That would be my first priority. My second priority would be to focus on policing in the United Kingdom, even though they are improving. A lot more needs to be done, and whatever. And a lot more things need to happen. And then obviously, just one more thing that I'd be focused on as well would be working at improving education, not letting people down. So obviously opening the doors up a little bit. So obviously when it comes to businesses, companies, organisations that have got so much strict vetting and other things, it'll be a little bit more relaxed and obviously controlled or monitored. So that would be my third priority would be to open the gates to businesses that do not like taking people on without significant expertise or whatever. Now that can't happen in all jobs, but my job would be to encourage businesses to encourage people to apply, but not make it so difficult to be able to get the job. So if a job comes up, the business has got the money to take them on. So I'll be looking at that as well. So the first one would be homelessness, second one would be policing, and the third one would be obviously opening the doors for people that can't get jobs and whatever. Still encouraging going to college, obviously going to further education and whatever, but at the same time for the unemployed people to be able to get them jobs and whatever. So for people watching this video today, if I was given the job, they would be my three priorities in the United Kingdom. On top of that, I would reform the army. So the British Army would be set up a little bit differently. So there would be another force set up to handle emergencies from other countries, where the army needs to step in and rescue people from other countries in a situation where they get put in prison or whatever, and they can't get out of prison. So the British Army would be deployed to their country and rescue them, get them out of the country, or arrest the people that are doing it. So there'd be another force set up as well to be able to sort that problem out as well. On top of that, and that would apply to all other countries as well, where that's happening, to have air support for when them things happen, so that they can get these people locked up or prosecuted, and like a human rights thing. So instead of taking it to court and having solicitors and that, when things are not obviously a crime and it's a human rights thing, that the Air Force, British Army would be deployed and they'd rescue or whatever, to do the jobs. So they'd storm buildings, they'd storm courtrooms, they'd do all that. So that would be another priority, and they'd be put on alert every time that was to happen or whatever. On top of that, as Prime Minister, I would, on top of that, I would keep all the benefits of cash payments, so everything would be cash in cash payments, there'd be no vouchers. I totally disagree with the voucher issue. One reason for that is because vouchers are not good in emergencies. You've got to think people that want benefits at the moment, they get benefits, they get cash payments, and they need that, and they like the freedom to be to be able to use it or whatever. And in an emergency, they've got the money to be able to do things. And you've got to understand that as a government giving out vouchers is not going to be a safe way for people that obviously need the money or whatever. So obviously all benefits will be paid in cash. And on top of that, what else would I do as Prime Minister? Well, on top of that, I would obviously, I would say as Prime Minister, I would leave the big organisations like the NHS and everyone else to themselves. But I would overlook the whole system or whatever. And where things need to change, there'd be people that would do the job and whatever. So that would be proactive as a Prime Minister. I would instruct the task force to go out there and sort the problems out, not let it build and build and build and build and build. I would also sort the press out and the media and do look into what they class as the public interest and other factors in terms of reporting on matters. And on top of that, I would obviously on top of that, we'll get on top of the housing crisis. I would also open up the borders so that immigrants can come into the country and they can stay in the country and they can go when they want, come back when they want. The reason why I say that is because you don't know what that person's going through. You don't know what's happening in their country and whatever. You're not in their shoes. So I would open up the borders so people are able to get on a plane, get on a boat, and come across the country with no hassle about security or having to hide in a bush because they're thinking they're going to get caught or whatever, anything like that, and that sort of thing. That's what I would do if I was the Prime Minister. In terms of policing, I would not get too much involved with it, but obviously I would overlook the whole system or whatever. And that's probably about it. Just trying to think what else there would be. So obviously there is millions of issues that people are faced with every day. So obviously the MPs that would be there for like local issues, and that would solve many of the biggest problems, or smaller problems, and then that would be passed on to the people at the top, who would then be able to do something about it or whatever. So that's what I would do as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and I would have access to a train to be able to go from London to Scotland on the train to visit not visit every place, but you know what I mean, or whatever, or possibly use the internet or whatever. That's what I would do as Prime Minister, is to sort them issues out, or or whatever. That was the question that I was asked. What would I do if I was to be Prime Minister? It would be to have MPs to obviously for local things, encourage more problems like starting things like problem solving, that sort of thing. And obviously my priorities would be what I mentioned. In terms of winter fuel for pensioners, the thing for pensioners where they get money or whatever, that would still happen. So they still get payments for that if I was Prime Minister. I would be getting stricter as Prime Minister also on tax avoidance. I would be getting stricter on business in the United Kingdom, which would be one of my strongest points, is to basically enforce the law of the United Kingdom, where people think that they can just go on the internet from the comfort of their home, access a computer, create a website, and keep all the money that they're going to earn from that, and think they can just keep it, and think that the people higher up at the top are going to think, well, that's all right, it doesn't really matter. Because obviously in a business you have to pay tax. It's as simple as that. When you pay tax, you're contributing, and it's a moral thing to do so. If you was going to keep all that money yourself and keep everything and not help other people and go back into the tax system, it doesn't help the tax system. So it's like a one-way thing without any feedback, like any money being passed back, you see. So I would get strict on that because people can't enforce that. A lot of people can get away with just earning as much as they want and not contributing, which could obviously bring in a lot of money, obviously to the United Kingdom or whatever. But apart from that, I don't think there's much more really. They would be the biggest things that I would focus on as Prime Minister. Obviously, in terms of political parties, I used to support the Conservative Party. In fact, I think I voted for them once. Could be when David Cameron took over power. Thinking that the Conservatives are a modern party that support a lot of people from all backgrounds, and also from the modern Conservative Party, and that they were branded as being the new business type of sort of thing. But nothing happened with it. So when they took power, there's no support, very little going on for business and encouraging that. There were other issues as well. And as people keep saying that people from the top don't listen to the people like myself and other people. One example of that is the press. So when I mentioned about the passport issue, the press said it wasn't in the public interest. So as Prime Minister, if I was given the job, that would be looked into, that would be addressed, and that could be classed as corruption or whatever, because public interest is when other people have got an interest in it, or whatever. In terms of obviously in terms of the obviously in terms of business, obviously there'd be more support or whatever for people that are setting up businesses, so they're not isolated and they're just thinking they're just working or whatever, if you know what I mean. So so yeah, that's what I would do if I was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. um, as time goes on, after so it's not all about the press or having a picture. My picture's all over the internet anyway. The whole world can see my face online. So in a national newspaper across the world or whatever, it's or whatever. But anyway, the point I'm making is that is the question that I obviously was asked, and they would be my priorities. So that sort of thing obviously would be obviously the priorities. But, so thank you for watching this short video, and thank you and goodbye.